It's official. We have now entered the age of the YouTube filmmaker.
I found something in the store.
What did you find?
It's what I'm trying to figure out.
It only gets better.
Backrooms is a 2026 psychological horror film directed and co-scored by Kane Parsons. It is based on Parsons' web series and inspired by the Backrooms creepypasta. In the film, Clark, a furniture store owner, and Mary, his therapist, discover a dimension of seemingly endless liminal spaces that can be accessed to the basement of his store. Backrooms is the latest in a string of theatrical releases coming from a group of creators that honed their skills on YouTube. Coming so close on the heels of Curry Barker's Obsession, it's extremely tempting to compare the two movies. However, I think that is a mistake because these are two fundamentally very different pieces of art. They're both created by very young YouTube filmmakers as their debut feature, and they are both broadly classified as horror movies. Apart from that, there really aren't any commonalities between them. Whereas Curry Barker's Obsession is kind of akin to a martial arts demonstration. Barker comes on stage and says, "Hey, I want to show you what I can do," and just puts on this virtuosic display of filmmaking. Backrooms is more like an interpretive dance performance. Slower, more rhythmic, dreamlike, with some arresting imagery and some really impressive moments. It's just overall a much more low-key, contemplative experience. I would classify this as vibes horror. I don't know if that's a thing, but a big part of this movie is vibes. It's aesthetic. It's how it makes you feel. And on that level, the set design, the score, it's all very effective and beautifully staged. Just as the strong part of the movie is its atmosphere and its use of sound and imagery, I would say that probably a more relatively weak part of the film is its script. The characters are fairly thinly drawn and quite two-dimensional, and a lot of the dialogue is a little bit stilted and unnatural. Now, where Parsons really got lucky is that he managed to land two incredibly accomplished actors for his lead roles, Chiwetel Ejiofor and the Norwegian actress Renate Reinsve. Ejiofor is someone who is an actual trained Shakespearean stage actor. I've never seen him give a bad performance. Even if the movie he's in is bad, he is always good. And Renate Reinsve, just coming off of her Academy Award nomination for Sentimental Value last year, is another very skilled actor. Both of them really help to give this material a gravity and an impact that it probably wouldn't have had otherwise. My favorite parts of the movie are probably the setup. I think that all of the stuff with the furniture store and his relationship with his employees, I thought that was fun. And also the initial sequence where he enters the titular back rooms. Um, it, that was all extremely well done. And like I said, the whole aesthetic of the back rooms and the design of it was incredibly impressive and really does an effective job of building a creeping sense of dread, where you're not sure what's around every corner, but you still feel compelled to keep walking down this hallway, even though you don't know where it's leading. And it's probably not going anywhere good. Where I think the movie possibly will lose some people is the ending. There is a climax, a climactic confrontation, and then the momentum just stops. Everything just kind of grinds to a halt, and there's a very quiet, sort of inert conversation scene that ends the entire film, which I thought felt incredibly anticlimactic. This is a director who is not even old enough to drink. Kane Parsons is 20 years old, and for him to have produced a film of this quality, as well structured and beautifully shot as it is genuinely impressive. I just feel like as he matures as a filmmaker, he probably will develop a little bit more of that script writing skill, more of a sense of characterization, and it will make his films more than just a really impressive group of set pieces. One kind of wholesome moment I wanted to share, at the end of the movie when the credits started to roll, there was a group of teenagers seated behind me, and I heard them actually discussing the movie. Hearing teenagers excited about going to a movie and then sitting and talking about it afterwards and engaging with the themes of the film, that just made me feel incredibly positive about the future of filmmaking, and very grateful to this new generation of filmmakers that are coming up, who are really reinvigorating the art form. I think we should all take a moment and appreciate that and go out to the movies and support these films, because that will make sure that more of these movies get made.